Hare Krishna. We continue reading from Caitanya Caritamrita. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Then on Adi Leela, chapter 5, text 66, we started with the text yesterday. I'll just read the translation. The reflected rays of his body mix with Maya, and thus Maya gives birth to myriad universes. So we have been reading the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Then we continue with the purport. Material nature appears to be just the opposite of the spiritual energy. The fact is that the material energy can work only when in contact with the spiritual energy. Originally, the energy of Krishna is spiritual, but it works in diverse ways. Like electrical energy, which can exhibit the functions of refrigerating or heating through its manifestations in different ways. The material energy is spiritual energy covered by a cloud of illusion or Maya. Therefore, the material energy is not self-sufficient in working. Krishna invests his spiritual energy into material energy, and then it can act, just as iron can act like fire after being heated by fire. The material energy can act only when empowered by the spiritual energy. So from Krishna's point of view, he has the spiritual energy. But from our point of view, you see, because we are looking from a distance away to Krishna. But what happens is we don't want to see Krishna. We want to say he does not exist. So what happens that his spiritual energy becomes the material energy for us. That is the illusion. That is the cloud or Maya of illusion. She can't cover him. A cloud cannot cover the sun, but cloud covers our vision of the sun. So Maya or material energy covers our vision of Krishna. That's what it is. And we think that the material energy is the all in all, because we are not able to see Krishna behind that energy. Why? Because our desire is not to know him. Our desire is not to see him. So Krishna is Bhaktavatsal. Whatever is our desire, he fulfills that. So the material energy in and of itself, she does not have any power. She can act only when Krishna glances at her. By his glance, he is giving her that energy to be acting, to be the secondary cause of this entire creation, where we think, oh, everything is moving. Yeah, clouds are moving, wind is blowing, rain is falling. So it appears to be living, but it is dead actually. But this movement is also happening. Why? Because Krishna glanced at the spirit, at the material energy, and then this movement happens. Otherwise, everything is just sleeping. It's just dormant. When covered by the cloud of material energy, the living entity, who is also a spiritual energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, forgets about the activities of the spiritual energy and considers all that happens in the material manifestation to be wonderful. So what happens is, because we are looking at only the material energy, right? So Krishna is there. From Krishna only, there is one energy coming up, spiritual energy. Now we don't want to see Krishna. So we look at it as Maya. That's the illusion. That's his illusory, right? So we can't see him. We can see only Maya. We are not able to understand, oh, there is a spiritual energy. There is a spiritual world. We are not able to understand. And we think, okay, this material energy, that's it. Nothing is beyond that. But a person who's engaged in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, and who is therefore already situated in the spiritual energy, can understand that the material energy has no independent powers. Whatever actions are going on are due to the help of the spiritual energy. So what happens is when a living entity, when he is engaged in devotional service, when he takes up Krishna consciousness, full Krishna consciousness, this is said. So he's already liberated. Full Krishna consciousness means liberated. He's a liberated soul. Then because he's liberated, he's no more, he understands his true position. He's already situated on the true position as the spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Then the material energy cannot act on him. His consciousness is totally spiritual. Then he can understand, that this material energy, she's actually not independent at all. She's not independent. She's able to work is because of Krishna's spiritual energy. So from Krishna's point of view, it is one energy. His same spiritual energy becomes material for us, for this material manifestation, because of our desire to lord it over the material world. The material energy, which is a perverted form of the spiritual energy, presents everything pervertedly, thus causing misconceptions and duality. So the energy originally is spiritual. It is spiritual, but because in this material atmosphere looks to be perverted. It is a perverted form, because we don't want to see Krishna. We want to be illusion. What is Maya actually? If Maya means that which does not exist, that is Maya. And what does that mean? That which does not exist in connection to Krishna. Whenever we think that something is not connected to Krishna, that is Maya. When we think something does not belong to Krishna, that is Maya. That is Maya. The illusion. So it makes us think everything pervertedly. Like right now, we are thinking we are the body, but are we actually the body? No, we are not the body. We are the soul. But because of this illusion of Maya, we are thinking we are the body. This is what the misconception is created, and the duality. That's how this duality happens. Material scientists and philosophers, conditioned by the spell of material nature, suppose that material energy acts automatically, and therefore they are frustrated, like an illusion person who tries to get milk from the nipple-like bunches of skin on the neck of a goat. So by thinking that this material energy, she's the cause of the living entity, we are going to be frustrated. Why? Because the material energy, she herself does not have that power. And if she thinks that she is the cause of me, the soul, then I will be frustrated. It's like trying to take out milk from the fleshy bags of the neck of the goat, which look like nipples, but no milk is going to come out there. Similarly, we are thinking that this material nature is the cause of the soul, but it's not that. So, as there is no possibility of getting milk from these bunches of skin, there is similarly no possibility that anyone will be successful in understanding the original cause of creation by putting forward theories produced by the material energy. Such an attempt is a manifestation of ignorance. So if we are just going to try to mentally speculate how this material energy is the cause of the living entity, we are just going to continue to be frustrated. The material energy of the Supreme Lord, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called Maya or illusion, because in two capacities, by supplying the material elements and by causing the material manifestation, it makes the conditioned soul unable to understand the real truth of creation. However, when a living entity is liberated from the conditioned life of matter, he can understand the two different activities of material nature, namely covering and bewildering. So right now we are in the conditioned stage. We have forgotten that we have forgotten that we are the soul. We are thinking we are the body, right? So once we get liberated, once we get liberated, once we are able to actually understand that, oh yes, I am the soul, I'm not this body, you know, actually liberated, then we will be able to understand very clearly how this material energy is acting. What is her position? She's covering. What is she covering? She's covering our vision of the Supreme Lord, making us think that she is the creator, that she is independent, and bewildering. How is it bewildering? We get bewildered. We think we are the body. We think everything related to the body is ours. We get all this attachment, fear, lust, anger, whereas the soul is totally not attached. Soul is totally full of knowledge, but we get all this by the influence of the material energy. These are her two functions: to bewilder us, put us in illusion, and to supply the elements. What are the elements? The elements which are making up this material body right now, which we are inside: the earth, water, air, fire, ether, senses, all that. So this is the function of the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is called Maya or illusion. Illusion. The origin of creation is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.10. The cosmic manifestation is working under the direction of the Supreme Lord, who invests the material energy with three material qualities. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. He says that this material energy is my energy. He's saying it. He's saying that she is my energy. And she's working under my direction because she is his energy. So she's, of course, following his orders. And he is the one who is the original creator. He is giving this energy, the qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance. He's giving this, he's the one who's providing this energy with the earth, water, air, fire, everything, because she's his energy after all. So agitated by these qualities, the elements supplied by the material energy produce varieties of things, just as an artist produces varieties of pictures by mixing the three colors, red, yellow, and blue. So Krishna is the one who is giving his, when he's glancing at this material energy, what's happening? The modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Then with time, they start mixing with the elements, earth, water, air, fire, mind, intelligence, false ego, and varieties of things are created. One after another, we see how the senses are created, the sense objects are created. All this happens when the Supreme Lord glances at the material energy. Yellow represents the quality of goodness, red represents passion, and blue represents ignorance. Therefore, the colorful material creation is but an interaction of these three qualities represented in 81 varieties of mixtures, 3 times 3 equaling 9, 9 times 9, thus equaling 81. So this goodness, passion, and ignorance, how they combine, and then the different things become manifest. Why there are 8,400,000 species of life? Because of 8,400,000, when we keep on multiplying these three modes of nature, we keep on multiplying. So these types of varieties of desires a person could have, could be in these 8,400,000 species, that the modes can affect us in this way. So deluded by material energy, the conditioned soul, enamored by this 81 varieties of manifestation, wants to lord it over material energy, just as a moth wants to enjoy a fire. So then we start thinking, oh, I'm not the soul, I'm the body, and I can enjoy this material world in so many different ways. This illusion is the net result of the conditioned soul's forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so why this whole thing is there is because I've forgotten, I have forgotten that I have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why I'm called a conditioned soul right now. Conditioned soul. I'm conditioned to thinking I'm the body. I've forgotten I have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord. When conditioned, the soul is impelled by the material energy to engage in sense gratification, whereas one enlightened by the spiritual energy engages himself in the service of the Supreme Lord in his eternal relationship. So, but what about so when I'm in, because I'm conditioned, what's happening? Because I'm thinking I'm the body, then what's happening? I keep thinking I need to enjoy this body. I need to enjoy whatever I'm seeing and experiencing, and that all these things belong to me, that I am the body and I'm the owner, I'm the enjoyer. But in the pure state where one is enlightened by the spiritual energy, when one gets that, when the ignorance is gone, when one has gotten that proper knowledge from enlightened, how? By the spiritual energy. Whereas one enlightened by the spiritual energy engages himself in the service of the Supreme Lord in his eternal relationship. So when one is already liberated, he understands I'm not the body, I'm a spirit soul, I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. What does he do? He's engaging in loving reciprocal relationship, because that's the true identity of the soul. Then he is no more in ignorance, trying to enjoy the material energy. He's situated in the spiritual atmosphere. Is that okay? So we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening in and joining it. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Shilpa Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. And we'll continue with the purport tomorrow.